Hi everyone to the welcome to the Digital Marketing Career KickStarter webinar where we cover the latest news which you should know if you're getting into digital marketing, or we also cover a market case study. We cover tool insights, some job search tips, and also we leave you guys with a challenge, with a small activity which you can do, and in the next video we'll actually take it up, right? So let's just get into the first part, which is news. Facebook today is, it's been actually a news item for the last couple of weeks, which is that Facebook is going to launch its own cryptocurrency. Now, why should a aspiring digital marketer know about this? Well, why is so we should know why is Facebook doing this, right? It's doing this because it wants to have an alternative to the money that it's making in Facebook ads, and which is increasingly being threatened by other platforms. And also there's so negative perception of Facebook being untrustworthy, and people are spending less time on Facebook, month on month, and the number of users, if you see, is not increasing at like it was earlier. Right? So because of this, it's trying to create this alternative, channel for making money, right? And so it's a clear sign that the rate at which they were expecting the Facebook ads income to grow, it's not happening, right? Because otherwise, it's all said and done. Like a new business division now for Facebook. Why? There's some other reasons why they would have gone in for this, right? One is that it's if you look at the total number of people, we I think the count is 2.5 billion people now are on Facebook. So it's almost it's bigger than any other country, and if you don't have that kind of a following, right, it makes sense. And okay, you have your own currency and then at some point of time, and they have decided to take the leap now in 2020. This is they say they're going to actually launch this, right? So one is the fact that because of your base, you could be actually more powerful if you have your own currency. The other bit is the amount that they'll save on transactions. So every time you're buying something in a Facebook game, or on the marketplace, or wherever, right? So the amount that will actually go to the credit card company, that can actually be saved by Facebook, right? And also they could have a range of other services which could be bought by cryptocurrency. This could actually increase the whole transactions which are happening within the Facebook apps or within Facebook games, right? So these are the reasons why Facebook is actually thinking about launching its own cryptocurrency. We now move on to the case study section of this webinar, and in this we are going to be discussing. What we do here is we discuss about one of the case studies which has caught our eye in the last few days, and we discuss some things around it, and what is it that we can learn from this. So today we thought we'll feature Wix, okay, and Wix, as we know, is a platform on which you can make a website just like WordPress. It's just a lot more user friendly. You have a lot of easy templates which you can use, right, to create your own website. Now, what they've done, and we actually got to know about this because of a mailer that they sent to all their subscribers, right, is that they've started this launch this website. It's called upforanything.com, right? And the reason why it's cool is because it's almost like it's like a web series, right? So there are various episodes, and in each episode, what they do is they feature people who are using their, first of all, they feature people who have made their websites in Wix. I mean, that's given, right? Because that's ultimately that's the subtle advertising for Wix. So they feature people who have made their websites on Wix, and then they are talking about what are they doing with respect to marketing their products and services. Yeah, and you should check it out. And what we can learn from here is, one is this whole thing of web series, and it's really hot today, and a lot of brands are doing web series. The cool thing about a web series is that it's a series, so people are interested in knowing what's happening next, and that creates that pull towards a brand, which is so difficult to get today, right? So that's why they're doing that, and there is a distribution channel already available in the form of the Netflix of the world, and you can have people follow web series on YouTube, and there's so many other niche platforms where web series are making a presence felt, and people know what it's all about, right? And so perhaps this is the right time for them to come up with something like this, for to help make their appeal more broad based. And see, at the end of the day, you are doing, any brand is doing SEO, social, email. I mean, we know about all these tactics. Now, what if you want to even, you want to broad base your appeal even more than that, what others are doing? So then you have to come up with all these channels. With stuff like web series. Yeah. Cool. Break. Hello. Okay, we now go to the tool tips or insight section of this webinar, where we will talk about email automation today. Now, what exactly is email automation? Now, the interesting thing about email automation is that when you look at this whole thing of automation within digital marketing, you must know that the first thing that gets automated, one of the first digital marketing activities which gets automated is email. Yeah, and what that means is that, instead of sitting on a tool and actually sending the mail blast, you can program it so that it happens on certain triggers, on certain dates, when certain things, when a membership gets over, and you can have this whole very elaborate set of rules which guide when a mail gets sent. Yeah. So these are some of the triggers, right? So before we get on to the tool, we'll just quickly take you through what the tool can do, and we're going to be talking about Mailchimp, but these are the kind of triggers. So one is follow-up emails. So this is the first. So within follow-up emails, say welcome emails. This is the first kind of email automation, uh, which happens in most companies, which is that whenever you have someone signing up for your product or your free trial, or someone inquiring for interest in your product, you kind of welcome them. So that email, whenever you get a whenever the someone signs up, you automatically immediately a mail goes to the person. So that's called a welcome email, and that's one of the first kind of automated mailers which people implement, right? After that, there is cart abandonment, and actually within e-commerce there are quite a few things within which emails you can set up with respect to when people are abandoning the cart, or when you want to cross sell, those kind of things. And trigger-based mails are whenever, so for example, click-based triggers, which is, someone has opened a previous mail, or someone has clicked on one of the links in the previous mail, or time-based triggers, which is someone uh, which is mails get sent when on day one, and then on day three and day five, right? So those are called time-based triggers. Now, how do we actually do this? Now, okay, so how do we actually do this? So we are in Mailchimp, which is the world's most popular email marketing tool. And if you go to automated mail, right? And I'll just show you an example of how easy it is, right? So to set up an automated workflow. So if you go to custom, okay, and let's just name it automated sample 1st July. Okay, and uh, this is a you like you'll have a database. You'll have to select one of the lists that you have made, and you can start, right? And it will give you this interface wherein you can actually design the series of mails that have to be sent, right? So this is email one, this is email two, this is email three, right? And the most important setting that you have to do is, of course, you have to design this mail. I mean, that's a separate activity. You can either do it yourself or get it done from a designer, right? So that we're not talking about that. We're talking about conceptually the fact that it's easy to do automated mailers today using tools like Mailchimp. One of the main things that you have to set up is a trigger, right? And we were on that slide sometime back which said what are there are various kinds of triggers. So that's the thing which has to be set up, for these three mails. The first, so for example, one of the triggers can be that send the mail immediately, right? So that's one example of a trigger. The trigger for the second mail can be actually someone opening the previous mail, right? So when someone opens the previous mail, second the second mail, which you will design separately, can be sent. So and so on and so forth, right? And the whole, if you just think about a typical e-commerce site, you'll see that there are various triggers, possible, and that's and you just sit down and just draw the entire workflow and think about the various actions that people take and what they could mean with this to your marketing efforts, and what are the kind of mails that you can send, so that you can have an elaborate workflow. Yeah. So yeah, that was the tool insight for the day. We now move on to the next section, which is a job search tips. And this talking about today is a very, it might sound like a basic uh, thing, but you'll be surprised at the number of people who are not doing this. And we are talking about having a professional synopsis and right at the beginning of the resume, right? You've seen so many resumes which directly move on to the experience and talk about the skills, right? But that right in the beginning of the resume, a 3 line or 4 line summary. I mean, one of the good headings for this kind of content would be summary of skills. Yeah. So that immediately tells the recruiter that it catches his or her attention, and in like 30 seconds, 20 seconds, he knows whether you're the right guy or not, the right person or no, right? It's so convenient for him to shortlist if he reads this. So, and this has to be well thought out, and this has to be something which helps and the recruiter understand your strengths. And everyone has different strengths. And you can be in digital marketing. You may want to get into digital marketing, but you may be from a design background, or you may be from a technical background. And digital marketing per se is a very democratic category. It allows people from any of these backgrounds, right? So you have to mention that upfront. And you may have domain knowledge, which increasingly is becoming important in digital marketing, which means that you've been in customer service selling insurance products, right? Or you've been at a retail store outlet. So these are things which will add value when you're actually making an ad or writing email copy or stuff like that. So make sure that you have uh, you're mentioning all these things up front, right? So yeah, that was a job search tip for the day. We end typically with a challenge, and the challenge is that now that you know how to create an automated workflow of mails, what we would want you to do is create a workflow for sending a mail on someone's on a birthday, right? So that's so if you can that's what we leave you with, and you can send it to us. And tomorrow when we cover the same when we're covering the career Kickstarter webinar, we will tell you how we can how you can what's the model solution, or what is how do you actually do that on Mailchimp. Yeah, thank you.